The Labour Party has kind of gone insane. They're losing their mind, they're descending into madness. And so I thought what we'd do in this video is take a look at the latest Labour Party annual conference and just kind of laugh at them. Because whilst they are exceptionally dangerous, they're also hilariously stupid. Think of this as kind of a highlight reel, something a little bit more light-hearted, although there is a serious message at the end of this video. And we'll start with everyone's favourite, David Lammy.
Is Nigel Farage a racist?
I answered your question. I'm not going to play the man. I'm playing the ball as our leader did. I will leave it for the public to come to their own judgments about someone who once flirted with Hitler Youth when he was younger.
David Lammy is such a liability. He says in one breath that he doesn't want to talk about Nigel Farage, he'd rather talk about Labour policies, and then 5 seconds later he says, oh, by the way, did you know he used to be in the Hitler Youth? Which is obviously a ridiculous and absurd claim, because last time I checked, Nigel Farage was born in the 1960s and the Second World War ended in 1945. But then again, history's never really been David Lammy's strong suit, has it?
Who acceded to the English throne at the age of 9 on the death of his father Henry VIII in 1547?
Henry VII.
Edward VI.
Seriously, what is David Lammy thinking? I imagine the second that he made those accusations about Nigel Farage, there were defamation lawyers up and down the country licking their lips and booking their next cruise. But unsurprisingly, someone in the Labour team did manage to get a grip of him pretty quickly, and within 5 minutes he was on air apologising and retracting his statement.
You made?
He has denied it, and so I accept that he has denied it, and I would like to clarify that position because in the end the Prime Minister was keen for us to focus on the policies, not the individual.
Anyway, that's enough David Lammy to make your blood boil, so let's move on. And we'll see if we can find sanity somewhere else in the Labour Party conference. Maybe our supreme leader, Keir Starmer. Perhaps he's got something insightful to say.
If you say or imply that people cannot be English or British because of the colour of their skin, that mixed heritage families owe you an explanation, then mark my words, we will fight you with everything we have, because you are the enemy of national renewal.
I've said this before on this channel, but I guess I'm going to have to say it again. All ethnically English people are white. The English people are descended from the Angles 1500 years ago. All of the English people are white. It's that simple. Now, that doesn't mean that all white people are English. The Welsh people are a different ethnic group. They're also white, and guess what? They're not English. This really isn't that controversial or that confusing, and yet for holding this factually true, scientifically accurate statement about the ethnically English people, Keir Starmer says that I am the enemy and he's going to fight me with everything he's got. Well, okay, so be it. You do that, because I'm not going to tell a lie just to make you and other people feel happy. And when you come and arrest me, make sure you arrest people like Suella Braverman, a member of Parliament who is saying exactly the same thing that I am. And then take me to court, because I will stand by those words in a court of law and I will be proven right. Anyway, now you know how Rachel Reeves feels when she's sat there crying, looking up at Keir Starmer delivering a speech. I'd be crying as well.
That's the choice that we made. That grows not just from the top, but from the grassroots. Because growth is the pound.
It's not a great sign for the British economy when the Chancellor keeps appearing on TV crying, is it? And I've said this in a previous video, but I don't think she really wants to be the Chancellor anymore. And I don't really blame her. She tried to cut spending, but her backbench MPs wouldn't allow it. She can't borrow any money because the yield on 30-year government bonds is at 5.7%, the highest it's been for 40 or so years. And so all she can do now to keep the welfare state going is raise your taxes. And oh boy, is she going to have to raise them a lot. So yeah, I'd be crying as well. But do I feel sorry for her? Not really. I mean, she should just resign, shouldn't she? Let's look elsewhere. Maybe Ed Miliband is holding it together.
Conference. We have a message for Elon Musk.
Get the hell out of our politics and our country.
Oh, okay, so Ed Miliband not quite holding it together then. Instead, he's going on a long tirade about Elon Musk. And it's interesting because Ed Miliband's entire remit in government is clean energy. So of all the politicians who probably shouldn't go on a rant about Elon Musk, it's Ed Miliband. But anyway, he says he wants to keep foreigners out of British politics. And I kind of agree with you, Ed, but I don't think you take that very seriously, because here in Britain, we've got MPs who are first-generation migrants. They were born in other countries, moved here, and eventually they've become MPs. So how can you honestly claim you want to keep foreigners out of British politics? That doesn't make sense. And the vast majority of civilised countries in the world, and uncivilised ones, frankly, would never, ever actually allow that. And what exactly is it that Elon Musk has said that's irritated you so much? That the Labour Party shouldn't be in government? Well, so what? The vast majority of the country is saying that. I'm saying that. Or maybe it's the fact that he shone a spotlight on the grooming gangs and the Labour Party's complicity in it. And that's what you don't like. Interesting. Now, you might have noticed that there's one person we haven't heard from at this conference. Angela Rayner. Until recently, the Deputy Prime Minister of Great Britain.
One thing that is perhaps currently broken is the relationship with Angela Rayner. Wes Streeting said today, we want her back.
We need her back.
Do you agree?
Yes, I mean, I said when Anne stepped down that she had been a major voice in the Labour movement.
You're ready to welcome her back.
I was very proud of that.
Yes.
And she made a mistake.
Yes.
She made a mistake. She's paid a heavy price.
Indeed.
And I've always thought that she will be a major voice again in the Labour movement,
Okay.
and I think that is a good thing.
That's right, folks. Angela Rayner is coming back. Keir Starmer says that she's paid a heavy price for what she's done, but that's not really true, is it? Because if I was caught tax dodging, I would have a criminal record. I might even do prison time. Who knows? But for Angela Rayner, her heavy price is just sitting on the back benches as a fully paid up MP for a few months before she comes back into government. What a joke. Let me finish with a serious thought. I saw someone say that Nigel Farage was mentioned more at the Labour Party conference than he was at the Reform Party conference. And based off what I've seen, that might actually be true, but don't hold me to that. But they are clearly obsessed with him. Starmer called him racist, Shabana Mahmood said he was worse than a racist, and David Lammy called him basically Hitler. And I'll tell you what the Labour Party are doing here. It's called stochastic terrorism. It's where you use extreme rhetoric, you put words in someone's mouth, you mischaracterize them, you paint them out to be this evil boogeyman in the hope that someone out there is mentally unwell enough to go and do some kind of violent action against that person. It's exactly what we saw happen to Charlie Kirk. And yes, Nigel Farage and Zia Youssef and the Reform Party generally are very aware of what the Labour Party are trying to do here.
This language will incite and encourage the radical left. I'm thinking of Antifa and other organisations like that. It directly threatens the safety of our elected officials and our campaigners. And frankly, in the wake of the Charlie Kirk murder, I think this is an absolute disgrace.
That might sound a little bit ridiculous, but you've got to remember, Nigel Farage has been attacked multiple times in the past, whether it's milkshakes or rocks, and God knows what it could be next. So here you have the Labour Party upping the ante in terms of rhetoric, you know, the usual ones, racist, fascist, Nazi, and I think that what they are hoping is someone out there will be mentally unwell enough to actually believe those things and go and act on them, either to scare Nigel out of politics or, and I'm not even going to say it, something much worse. So yeah, that's completely unacceptable behaviour. And by the way, it comes along the backdrop of, mysteriously, the Home Office have slashed Nigel Farage's security funding by 75%. It's just not a good look, is it? I've criticised Nigel Farage in the past, but I truly hope that no harm comes to him whatsoever. This is just another disgusting tactic of the left, because they know that there are a lot of mentally unwell people in the world. And so if they start calling people, you know, Hitler Youth, racist, fascist, blah, 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 some of those mentally unwell people, the vast majority of us all look at that and go, that's obviously absurd. But some people out there are unwell enough that they will take it seriously and think that it's their heroic duty to go and do something about it, to stop the next Hitler. That's stochastic terrorism, and obviously that is completely abhorrent and must be condemned at all times. This comes 3 weeks after the murder of Charlie Kirk, which was basically an act of stochastic terrorism by the Democrats in the United States. So yeah, it's not good, it's completely unacceptable, and I really, really do hope that nothing happens to Nigel Farage, a man that I have criticised multiple times. I don't want to see any harm come to anyone in politics. I condemn all political violence, and I always have. Anyway, that was meant to be a light-hearted video, and I think it was right up until the end point, but it's very, very serious, and we have to talk about these things, especially when I see it happening. It's not good. Please do leave a like, comment, subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you in a future video. Thanks for watching.